money laundering is an essential tool for criminal organizations and for terrorist organizations because they have to have funds to be able to operate. So, in that context, not only groups but individuals who want to launder money are going to do so by any means available to them. And when you look at the totality of different groups and individuals, you're going to find that they're going to exploit different mechanisms because there are so many different areas that can be exploited, and the bad guys are going to take whatever advantage of those areas that they can. Money laundering in the context of criminals is a circular process. So that placement, layering, and integration kind of goes in a circular flow because the people that ultimately start the process want to be the direct beneficiaries. And so the money's going to come back to them in that circular flow. Now with terrorists or terrorist interests, the people that put the money in the system are not the direct beneficiaries. That money goes in a linear fashion, and at the end of that process, the money goes to support a terroristic activity. And so that process is a little bit different, and that's one of the distinctions between money laundering and money laundering for terrorism. The Carnival Ice Cream Shop was located in Brooklyn, New York, and it turned out it was an illegal money remittance business in addition to being an ice cream shop. Their income for that ice cream shop for a year should have been about $185,000. Their bank accounts had $22 million flow through them. So when you look at that, and there are some mitigating circumstances there, but I wanted to use an exaggerated point. This is true. $22 million flowed through those accounts. Is that reasonable for that type of business? And the answer should be no. Somebody should be going out and wanting to know why $22 million were flowing through. And in that case, the business was functioning as an illegal money remittance business so that certain people of certain ethnic persuasions were able to go in there to wire money back to their families. Many of those transactions were done for legitimate purposes. However, a well-known terrorist also used that facility to send money back to Yemen and Pakistan, two countries at risk and clearly with a tremendous terrorist presence in them. So those are some of the things that you need to look for. The businesses that concern me are the illegal money remitters, like the example of the Carnival Ice Cream Shop, where they're not registered or licensed, and in all likelihood they don't have an anti-money laundering program. If I'm a bad guy, that's the venue I want to go. I want to find that type of shop and funnel money through them, because I know that they're not going to be filing currency transaction reports, and they're not going to be filing suspicious activity reports. If I'm a money launderer, I want to be very conscious of the fact that I want to avoid having a bank file a suspicious activity report. Money laundering is a global problem, and it clearly there's no national boundaries. Shell companies are a tremendous vehicle for money launderers. A lot of times shell companies come from the United States. We have a tremendous problem in the United States with shell companies. A lot of shell companies emanate offshore, and when you get money into offshore havens, a lot of times it's very difficult, if you're trying to get that money back, to be able to track it back. And for instance, you track the transactions to a country like Pakistan. Pakistan is a cash-based country, and one of the frightening things for me as a former law enforcement agent is Pakistan is a country at risk for terrorism. So is that the proceeds of criminal activity, or could those proceeds go to support terrorist activity? And unfortunately, there are too many cases where the latter is true.